Hello, everybody. David Shuster here. In the Jeffrey Epstein scandal, Attorney General Pam Bondi just made things a hell of a lot worse for Donald Trump. Bondi testified in this day in front of the U.S. Senate, and under questioning from Rhode Island Democrat Sheldon Whitehouse, Bondi did not deny reports the FBI in the Epstein files has incriminating Trump photographs.
There's been public reporting that Jeffrey Epstein showed people photos of President Trump with half-naked young women. Do you know if the FBI found those photographs in their search of Jeffrey Epstein's safe or premises or otherwise? Have you seen any such thing?
You know, Senator Whitehouse, you sit here and make salacious remarks, once again trying to slander President Trump left and right.
That is not a no. Bondi could say, I have not seen any such photographs, or no photographs exist. Instead, Bondi refused to issue any sort of denial. By all accounts, Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein were close friends for 15 years. Journalist Michael Wolff interviewed Epstein repeatedly for a book about Trump and says Epstein showed off several photographs.
I remember very vividly three of them. There are two in which Trump is, the girls, topless girls, are sitting on Trump's lap. And then a third in which he has a stain on the front of his pants. And the girls are kind of pointing at it, sort of bent over, laughing.
Come on.
The question is, did the FBI find those photographs that have been discussed publicly by a witness who claimed Jeffrey Epstein showed them to him? You don't know anything about that. Okay.
Again, Bondi did not say she doesn't know anything. She refused to say anything. And if the photographs don't exist and are not in the possession of the FBI and the Justice Department, one imagines that the Attorney General would put all of this to rest with a clear, unequivocal denial. But Bondi testified on this day under oath. And if she's caught giving testimony that is false, she could be charged under the next administration's Justice Department with lying to Congress. So Pam Bondi refused to say anything about the alleged Trump photographs or answer the question. Bondi also refused to answer questions about reports the Justice Department and the FBI assigned hundreds of staff to the Epstein files for the sole purpose of scouring them for Donald Trump's name. Watch this exchange with Illinois Democratic Senator Dick Durbin.
So who gave the order to flag records related to President Trump?
To flag records for President Trump?
To flag any records which included his name.
I'm not going to discuss anything about that with you, Senator.
Eventually, you're going to have to answer for your conduct in this. You won't do it today, but eventually you will. I yield, Mr. Chairman.
Eventually, you will have to answer for your conduct. Wow. On the Epstein files, Pam Bondi is clearly between the proverbial rock and a hard place. If Bondi exonerates Donald Trump about the records and the photographs, that would undoubtedly please Trump, but could expose Bondi to legal exposure down the road. But by deflecting and refusing to answer questions about the records and the photographs, Pam Bondi has essentially fanned the flames that such incriminating information exists, and that the Justice Department is deliberately keeping the materials from being released. On top of trying to protect and shield Donald Trump, Pam Bondi's Justice Department has been targeting Donald Trump's enemies, including former FBI Director James Comey. Recently, Lindsay Halligan, the newly installed U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia, who has zero prosecution experience, got a grand jury to indict Comey. Conservative analysts call the charges flimsy. Still, the night before the grand jury indictment, Attorney General Bondi had dinner at the White House with Donald Trump.
The night before James Comey's indictment, you had dinner with the President of the United States. Pretty intimate group.
Actually, there were a lot of people there that night. That's a great
James
picture.
Comey discussed at that dinner?
I love that picture. That's a great picture. And there were a lot of people there that night. I think the
Well-
entire cabinet was there.
Did you discuss James Comey with the President of the United States? He was sitting just to your left.
Well, 2 seats down, yes. 2 seats down. And I am not going to discuss any
I'm going to take
conversations
that
I've
as
had
a
or not
yes,
have with the
because
President
the
of the
American
United
public
States.
is entitled to know Madam Attorney General?
The entire cabinet was at that
Whether
dinner,
you
too,
took instructions from President Trump after he told you very directly to indict James Comey.
And Trump, on his social media platform, told Pam Bondi to indict James Comey. But Bondi refused to acknowledge that. Instead, the Attorney General responded to questions she didn't like with ridicule, derision, and sidestepping. Bondi repeatedly engaged in the sort of pugilistic rhetoric that Donald Trump spews, delivering personal insults and barbs to the senators. There was nothing respectful on this day about Pam Bondi's testimony to the Senate, just as there is nothing dignified about her handling of the Epstein files or the Comey prosecution. Until the Trump administration, the U.S. Justice Department had a tradition of independence from the White House. Now, the DOJ might as well be Donald Trump's personal attorneys, defending him from embarrassment and criminality and attacking anybody Donald Trump doesn't like. Eventually, though, these things have a way of coming back around. And it was clear in Pam Bondi's mind on this day that eventually, in another administration, she will have to answer and account for her actions. So Bondi chose non-answers, making the Trump-Epstein scandal now an even bigger deal. By the way, as the Trump administration ratchets up migrant deportation raids and arrests, Chicagoans are fighting back.
Can we use the restroom? No, you cannot. We can? Okay, all right, thank you.
In Broadview, Illinois, that is Kristi Noem, the Department of Homeland Security Secretary under Trump, just got denied the opportunity to dump, literally.
Interesting. That's what Governor Pritzker says is cooperation in keeping people safe.
Noem and her entourage wanted to use the toilet facilities in the local police station and were rejected. Headline, "No, you cannot." Kristi Noem denied bathroom access at Illinois government building.
So why wouldn't they let you in? What's been going on here? What's been going on here, Secretary?
We were coming to go out and do some operations to pick up some guys with criminal convictions on them. And
Check out the way Noem is walking. She is either having difficulties holding it in, or she has already pooped herself.
Would not allow us to go in and to use the restroom at the police station. So as much as these local leaders and governors talk about cooperating and having the backs of our law enforcement officers, this is what we have to put up with every single day. And all we're doing is getting criminals and terrorists and cartels and gang members off the streets.
The chemical smoke reportedly caused a 2-year-old child in a stroller to get sick. The gas also forced a nearby elementary school to keep kids inside. In another neighborhood, ICE agents tried to disperse a crowd of protesters and gas 2 Chicago police officers.
They'll throw you in the fire too! Understand! They just tear gas you! They don't give a f*** either! Why are you protecting them?
Check out that video at the link below. It generated a lot of comments on YouTube. One of the most popular is from Nancy, who wrote, "You go, Chicago, keep up the fight." Indeed. I look forward to reading your comments about Attorney General Pam Bondi, under oath, refusing to deny the existence of incriminating Trump photographs in the Epstein files. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.